the No Life, No Mirror podcast. Let's tune in. So that little advert thing, I need to change that for this show. That's for our Tuesday show. We will not be having a show tomorrow. So we out 2 weeks. So we figured we come out today because there is we're going to be watching this thing that you can see down there, which is going to be covering the new Sony A7c, maybe some other stuff, who knows. We're going to talk about that. And that's pretty much it. So no show tomorrow. I'm actually leaving on Wednesday. We're going to the Poconos, doing a little camping until Sunday. So we're going to be out for a little bit. And then when we return, we'll have a bunch of stuff to cover for you. I got the new small rig camera cage in. I want to do a video on that, as well as the 24-70 RF mount lens, which has been a dream. This is what you're seeing right now currently. Let me zoom in a little bit. How about this? Ready? Ooh, buttery, looking good. Wink. Yeah, just enjoying the time with the camera so far, and I can't wait to really kind of stress it out when we go camping and see kind of any issues prop up. It's not really that hot. It's not going to be that hot at the Poconos. It's probably going to be in like the 70s, so it's not quite as stressful as I was hoping I'd be able to put it through. But I'm going to basically be having it running the whole time, taking photos, taking videos, and then that will conclude. After that, I have all my numbers in there. That will conclude the overheating stuff. There's a lot of new stuff that's come out with overheating. So I have all the fan stuff coming. I have all the redone tests coming for the new firmware, as well as the hacks that people have been doing, like the new battery hack and stuff. Looks like we got a countdown on the Sony Alpha video, so we'll be tuning into that in looks like about 2 minutes. Jerry, are you excited for it?
I don't know. No, actually, no. Honestly, no. I am, but I'm not, because I got bamboozled by, of course, all of the rumor sites that are great and also suck at the same time.
Yeah. Wait, why?
I do want to point out that I love the latest rumor about this. A site who shall not be named, I notice, literally just took some Asian dude's video that leaked of this camera beforehand and then put their watermark all over screenshots of this dude's video.
Oh, God. I wouldn't expect anything
sure,
less.
Dude.
There you go with that, I guess.
I don't know. It sounds like an interesting camera. We'll see. Like, I don't know. I'm hoping, I'm going in here with hoping to be surprised.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be surprised, but I'm hoping.
Yeah, we got the specs leaked from at least what Sony Alpha's claiming are leaked, and it's a little underwhelming for supposedly over $2,000.
Yeah, like it sounds basically it's an A7 III.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which,
but I will say I'm not mad at it.
Price, that's underwhelming.
I will say, just spoiler, I'm a little bit more favorable to it currently, without any information on it, than Jerry is.
Yeah. I'm not, because this is funny, because Wayne, you always call me the Sony fanboy, even though I shoot Fuji at the moment. Just because, like, I'm the ultimate, I'm a capitalist bitch. I've worked freelance for everything for like 7 years. The only way I survive is by penny pinching everything. And this is like, that's supposed to be Sony. Yeah. And this seems like the exact opposite of any other previous Sony camera.
Yeah, it is like they kind of did a little bit of a canon here, actually. But we'll see. Let's see what we got. Because I like the A7 III footage. Is it worth?
I do too. Just I don't know if I'd want to buy a new one for $2,000 when I can buy a used one for like $1,400.
Yeah. Can you hear this, by the way? Can you hear that music?
Barely.
All right, we got the video up. It's not starting out too great already. This is like some okay, level.
We got the hands-off preview from DP Review.
Oh, it's up already?
Jared Poland's already out. Gerald Undone is already out.
Wow, right up
Chris Howe's already out. Here's Tony and Chelsea Northrup by Justine.
All right.
Peter Gregg's already got it. Dan Watson's got it. And Dan Watson, I think, nails it on the head of not just a mini A7 III,
Okay.
but it's an A7 III. Manny's got it. Sony did their usual. They sent it to everybody.
Yeah, except me. Someone who's
yeah.
been with Sony since the very beginning. All right, let's see what we got. Here's the promo video. The A7c compact, full frame power. Okay, we know this. I like the idea of these like entry level full frame mirrorless cameras.
I do too, but
It's $2,000 too
like
high.
them when they're the price of the RP.
Yeah. Yeah, half the price. I wonder if this is all we're getting as like a trailer, like a commercial.
I have like so many tabs open now.
All right, what do you think of the look?
I don't
like
hate.
it.
I don't hate the look. I don't love it either.
I
And
like it.
I mean, I like it, but it's not. I want it a little. I don't know. It's missing
I
dials,
guess we don't need
and I
the
don't like the
music here.
dial placement. It's one of those things where it's like you're trying to be Fuji and you're really close, but you're not at the same time. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I think it's definitely one of their better looking cameras. Hold on, we have talking
Yeah,
here.
I would agree with that. I'm also not a big rangefinder person, which is weird that I'm a Fuji person.
Yeah. Yeah, that is
I just
weird.
like I want a second dial on the right, and I would have preferred different dials than exposure.
Honestly, I'd rather this look, but with no dials. I like that Leica sort of like whichever one they have that has no dials.
Yeah, that's fair. I
don't
mean,
use-
it's
I don't
not
use
bad. It's
dials.
just I don't like that style of EVF because it's too A6000 ish. If that like,
The only reason I like it because your nose is off the side, which is nice.
well, no, I'm fine, and I get that for the rangefinder. I just mean this specific EVF looks like they just ripped it off at A6400
Yeah. Yeah,
or an
they probably
A66.
did.
You know what I mean?
They probably did.
Yeah. Like it looks like that old Panasonic like GX7.
I like the
GX8.
size though for full frame. That's pretty rad.
Yeah.
They got it
No,
on a
the size is
gimbal.
cool.
They got it on like their Sony sort of thing. So this is like they're really pushing it to vloggers. This is definitely like their vlogging camera. 24
Well, yeah.
megapixel sensor. Probably.
And I mean,
the
if they
specs
do
probably are.
surprise me and it's got 10-bit, my mood's gonna drastically
Well, that would be a
change.
big difference. That would be a big selling point. But it's looking like the specs. were fine.
Okay. Someone in the Sony stream is saying $1,800 USD body. Kit lens 2100.
Okay, well that's
Better.
a lot better.
I wouldn't
That's
say
a
a lot
lot
better,
better.
but that's at least better. Set up on B&H yet?
I mean, that's a considerable amount less than the R6.
No, that's
It's
getting
a little.
better.
It's a considerable amount more than the RP.
Worried I was just so worried they were gonna make this thing like $2,000, 2,100, and just
It's
be like,
probably 21 with the kit lens, maybe.
right. It's like, so wait, it's an A7 III and you're gonna make it more expensive than an A7 III.
Right.
Okay.
10 frames per second shooting, not bad.
And I agree with Rocky Cole in the chat. Put a front dial on it. Like that's what I mean. Where it's like it's one of those things where it's just not there yet. Like Fuji, I get all of that. It looks pretty, but
What is a front dial?
Usually front dial is for aperture and ISO, but it's also with Fuji you can set anything to anything,
Yeah.
and that's also why I don't care for the exposure compensation dial because you can also just set
Oh,
it
so
to
it's
your
6.
rocker.
It isn't an oversampled 4K, so it's not going to be the A7 III line skipped 4K. Interesting. And now you can also, looks like you can change the autofocus track or the focusing pulling. It is a hot shoe. He's got an adapter on his microphone. Why?
He's got an adapter on his headphones.
Oh, is that what that was?
That was headphones.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Good. Well, kind of
At
good.
the same time, with how small this is, I did see the side shots, and it's welcome to micro hell. 215 minutes continuous recording time.
Yeah, it's not
So it
too bad.
overheats, but that's
No, I
who
think that's
cares?
battery time.
If that's battery time, that's pretty fucking nice actually.
Yeah, it's all right. Those Z batteries are pretty good.
But yeah, if it's 8-bit 420 only, I'd want it to be cheaper.
Man, 1800 if that's really the price. Let's see here.
Yeah, I'm like constantly refreshing B&H.
A7C. Is this all we're gonna get? Oh. No. That's still with that weird music. Alpha C offers authentic full frame quality, not only for stills, but also for movies. Are they gonna show some accessories here?
Oh, they got to show off the weird lenses too. And if we're getting more than just that really bad looking kit lens. I hate that kit lens.
Yeah, it sucks. All of their kit lenses suck. The kit lens for the APS-C A6000s are so bad.
I mean, that's what this is. Yeah, I would never buy
But they're
the kit
so
lens for this.
cheap.
Well, this one's not. That's the thing, though. 300
Yeah.
bucks for a 28 to 60? Why?
Yeah, I don't know why they went. It should have been a 24.
And I do love how great they're showing it with glass that costs the fucking price of this camera.
No, they had a good range. They have a good range in here. They are showing a couple G Masters though. Oh, no, they're like all G Masters.
A lot of them are G Masters.
How much is that 20 millimeter G? I
20
know this is
millimeter
like pretty
G.
hyped up.
I thought it was like the G, I think's 900.
Yeah, it's about $1,000. All right, let's get to the price. Let's see some heavy specs. Does Sony have anything up on their site? Alpha Universe. Nope, not yet. Oh, is this the kit lens here they're talking about? A lens designed for mobility.
Is it a power zoom? That's what I haven't been able to figure out.
It looks like it is.
I don't like
I don't
power
know, though.
zooms. I'm really hoping it's still a manual barrel, to be honest. Maddie thinks that the new Sony A7C might be the best vlogging camera ever made for most people. Can't wait to try it.
Actually, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not a power zoom.
I'm really hoping it's not a power zoom, personally. Same time, I'm not going to buy it, but like I like the size. It is getting closer to Fuji APS-C size. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just
That
too
I do like.
too tight, especially for vloggers. And it's like they
Yeah,
did,
that's
they
what I
did
don't
this with
get.
their Z1 and their latest RX 100s.
And well, no, then the fact that it's $300 for a really weird range and it's slow. It's still variable aperture.
Yeah, I wouldn't even really mind how slow it is if just because it's cheap, but it's not wide enough. 28 is not wide enough for vlogging. No way.
And then it's not
And then
long
add
enough
on,
either.
yeah, and then and then you're only at 60. You don't even get to go to 70. It's odd. All right, now they're just showing this stupid lens. All right, well, let's see if we can find an actual price on this. Because if it's 1800, that definitely changes things a little bit.
A little bit, but
F stoppers. Let's see. Do they have price up?
I like that it's still Sony. We're still giving you 8-bit 420 and S-Log 3. Yeah, it's all 8-bit.
Yeah, it is a 6K downsample 4K full pixel readout. That's pretty good.
I mean, it can be good 8-bit. It's just disappointing is all.
Yeah, it would have definitely been a huge value added if 10-bit was included. We really don't know too much other than what was spec'd. We kind of get the gist. I want to know
didn't see the
external.
other thing I was really hoping for is anything about menus. That I was really hoping for. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
we might have
thinking
to
it's still
watch
it's
some of the
still
other
old
guys'
menus.
videos.
Yeah, and I didn't see. I mean, now they're on the Flash. Okay.
Sick new Flash, dude.
Hey, I mean, it does look like a cool-ish little Flash, but yeah, I don't care. I don't know. I want to like it, but I just something about it feels off to me, and I think it's just because I'm a Fuji person, and whenever someone tries to do fake Fuji, it just feels weird.
I kind of like it. I kind of like it a lot more now. If it's 1800, I haven't found anything to disprove that yet. Let's look. Let's see the Sony Alpha. The Sony Alpha. What's it called? Discord. Anything in there? I don't see anything. Yeah, everyone's getting their videos up. I think this is gonna sell pretty well. And I also don't know. There's really no reason to go for the Sony A7 III currently. Easy operation from body menus. Let's see. And that looks like the old menu system.
No, I know it's the old menu system. Yeah,
Why? Why would they do that?
because it doesn't have the new sensor, so it's an A7 III. Like literally, it's
Yeah,
an
but the
A7
sensor wouldn't
III.
really. They could just add a new menu system, you know?
No, because that's the reasoning for it not being on the old ones is it needs the new processor.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, no,
I wonder if you could touch. Wait,
that
let's
was
see if
my
you can touch
issue
it.
with it. Is like, cool, it's an A7 III. Cool, dude. You can buy a used one for like $1,400.
Wait, can you touch the menus now? Let's see. It doesn't look like they show you. No, you can't. It doesn't look like it works with touchscreen menus. We'll have to see some other videos.
We'll get just going into it. I do like the difference in opinions for video to photo people. This tweet sums it up. So Maddie, I already said that earlier. Maddie's tweet: new Sony A7C might be the best vlogging camera ever made for most people. Can't wait to try it. Smiley face. This week is going to be insane for new tech. The tweet directly under it: Fro knows photo. This is the Sony A7C, and it's mostly a fail.
Wow.
Because that's the thing too, is it's still the size of an A7 III without the EPF.
So you basically get an A7 III, but you get full pixel readout of the 6K sensor. You get what else do you get on? You get the flip screen. Maybe lighter. Does the A7 III have the new Z batteries? I think it does, right?
I can't remember. I know this is lighter. But basically what I'm hearing is there's no pre-order links and people are saying it's 1800. According to some other videos.
Yes, it is. It is the Z battery, which the A7 III does have. So that's not a difference. There's no new codecs or anything like that. There's no new menu system. It's just an upgrade from the A7 III. It's really just like a lateral upgrade, slightly better.
Yeah, but mostly lateral. And that's why I'm like about it. Like
That's
it
pretty
does
much
sound
it looks like,
it does
right?
sound cool, but it's like
Yeah, that's it.
no, I wanted something new for 2020 when we got Canon busting down doors and shit. You know what I mean? You have Sony themselves saying, "Here's an A7S III. Here's the camera." You know what I mean? Panasonic with the S5 is a sick camera for $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
I was just hoping for a little bit more than it's an A7 III.
Now the question is, all right, what's the market at? It's considerably, if it's 1800, which I let me see if I can figure this out. I haven't seen anything on price. Where did they find this 1800 pricing?
Jason sets it was 1800 in a video. I'll try to find it for you. Jason Vong.
Ah. Here, let's play his video real quick.
Hey, I'm back, and I missed you guys too. But hey, let's catch up at the end of the video. For now, I got
1800.
dollars is still a hefty October 2020, and
So it's
pre-order
1800 for body. With the kit, it's 2100.
Don't buy the kit. If you're interested in this camera, don't buy the
The
kit.
kit's $500 by itself, all available. It'll be available. The camera body will be available late October, so pretty soon. It is 1800. Okay. Yeah, no new menu. All right, so if you look at the market,
Mom, I want a vape.
the R6 is considerably much more money.
True.
When you factor in a lens plus the body, it's a considerable jump in price, but
It's
you gain
$700 more.
you gain a much better everything. You gain a better IBIS system. You gain a better, arguably better autofocus system. You gain better codecs. You gain 4K 60. You gain the
Better low light.
Better
probably,
low
I'm
light.
assuming.
You gain a better mount. I would say, let's just say the image quality is on par. I haven't seen anything to dispel that, but they're both 6K downsample 4Ks. But this doesn't overheat. But then again, you don't get the 10-bit. So you don't have
See,
the
that's
10-bit
that's what I
option.
was hoping. And at the end, they would at least pull a Canon R and just be like, "Hey, but if you slap a Ninja on it, you get 10-bit."
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
we
didn't
don't
see
know.
that. Maybe it's there. I don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't
But it's
know.
not-
But then that
sounded like
jumps
it.
the price up for the Ninja, you know?
Oh
Then
yeah,
then
but that would be a beneficial aspect to it.
yeah. It would have been
It's like-
really nice if they had 10-bit in here.
Yeah, no, because right now it's like, okay, cool. It's a minusculely better A7 III, but I can buy one of those for like $1,400 used. And it's not like it's a massively smaller camera. You just move DVF.
But I like that. I do think that
I mean,
that's pretty good.
that's fair. I just,
I
for
do
me,
think
that's
that's
why
pretty
it's not
good.
that exciting for me for even at 18. It's a little bit better, but I was really hoping for like 15. You know what I mean?
18, you gain the flip screen. You get the full readout. It's still the 8-bit 420, but it's not bad. You know what I mean? It sucks, but it's not bad.
True, but then you can also put it next to an R,
Yeah.
which is the same price. And this you lose the crop. That's pretty nice.
Yeah. That would be
And
about
but
it.
then with the R you just can go 10-bit if you want to.
Yeah.
So it really depends on are you just vlogging for YouTube? Then you don't care. It's 8-bit's fine, honestly. It's a good camera. I'm sitting here. All of my meh is more about the price and the fact that it's an A7 III. That's not to say the A7 III isn't a great camera, because it's a fucking great camera.
Like, this was the perfect camera 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Well, even last year. I would say even last year.
yeah. In 2020,
Like, we
though,
finally get the perfect.
It's all right.
You really don't. You don't really. At least with Sony so far, like you get it all. You get everything. You get the IBIS. You get the flip screen. You get a great lens selection that has a wide variety of pricing. It's just the image quality is probably not going to be the top notch, and you don't get any high frame rate in 4K. It's crazy that now that we're kind of expecting 4K 60 at least, when that wasn't even a consideration.
I'm expecting it because of Pana, dude. Pana put out what I think every $2,000 camera should be now.
I agree, but they don't have autofocus, which fucking sucks.
True,
That
but I'm
would've
just
been
saying, like,
such a
if you're just reading off of a spec sheet, that's what I expect for $2,000 nowadays. Like, or would like hope for, I guess, in these newer cameras. And that's why this is just a weird. Seems weird for Sony. Like, if you don't care about full frame, there's better options, I think, personally. If you care about full frame, it's a great camera.
I mean, I think it's a great full frame entry level camera too.
I do too, but like I was talking about this earlier, it's like I would feel completely different about this camera if it was priced against the Canon RP, which
It was $1,000.
right, and similar specs.
No, I would say this is definitely beating that.
Well,
RP's not really a 4K camera.
that's true because you still have to deal with the crop, but I'm still wondering. So imagine a world where
I don't even think it has autofocus in 4K, right?
no, it doesn't. It's not a 4K camera.
Yeah.
You're right. It is more of an art competitor, but it's just like.
And in the R, you're not really getting a 4K full frame camera.
For me, as being an image quality slut, it's just kind of like. It's not much better quality than an RP.
No, if you just care about
It's
image
really
quality,
not.
if you just care about image quality, I would say it's better than the RP, but it's not much better than.
It's not twice the price better than.
You're
an
not
RP
getting
for
better
is my
image quality better
point.
than Pana.
Oh, no,
for this price.
We're close. Nowhere close. And that's fine. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's what I'm saying is like,
System says
I'm hoping
Panasonic
for more,
R5,
more
S5 or A7 SC for video. Do you need autofocus?
Yeah, that's really what it comes down
I mean,
to.
that's why everyone is upset with the S5 is that the autofocus hasn't changed.
But if you're fine with that and are used to like a GH5 or something, yeah, S5 is fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like if you're going for pure image quality, S5 spanks. What I'm seeing from the A7C so far.
Yeah.
But the A7C also
And there's
at
so
least
many
has-
more codecs and different recording options. It just,
You can
do you
do
want autofocus?
anamorphic. You'll be able to do the 6K. You'll be able to do cropped 4K 60.
You sacrifice a lot for autofocus in the A7C. But that's that's a deal breaker for a lot of people. If that's not a deal breaker for you, then I wouldn't hesitate in getting the S5. Are you always behind the camera? Do you have to, ever rely on autofocus? Because that's really where the market's at. And it's like, do you want a full frame 4K camera, or do you want a great sort of hybrid option that has 10-bit and you just have to deal with the crop? So you kind of have like a Super 35 camera. Then the R is a good option. It does feel a good need. I think this is going to be wildly popular, just as popular as the A7 III was.
I think the 7 III is still going to be more popular.
You think?
But I think this is. I'm not saying
I
that this
think
is
the
going to
added
be a
flip
very
screen-
popular camera. I think the 7 is going to be more popular.
I think
It's
adding that
cheaper,
flip
and there's
screen
still
is
a lot of
definitely-
photo nerds who are like, I don't care about. I'd rather have an actual EVF than a flip screen.
Yeah, that's true.
The-
Now
the-
I'm wondering what the A7 IV is.
True, that's like the real
Where the-
question or hope.
What is
I mean,
that
this
price
this is. I do kind of like this. I do, like. I just want it to be like $200 cheaper. If it was
Yeah.
$200 cheaper, I'd be all over this camera.
I mean, you'll probably get it $200 cheaper in like 6 months. That's how Sony usually works.
No,
It'll be
true.
replaced in 6 months probably.
I don't know. This was my worry with this camera, and why this is weird to me is this. Are we ever going to see an A7 IV? Is that now just in the land of the A7S III that we'll see it in 2 years.
Yeah, like that's the thing.
And this is because this is the whole. Is this the holdover now? Another A7 III.
Like, where does the A7 IV go? Obviously, I mean, it's going to take a lot of features from the A7 III, but where is it going to be priced? Because if it has the features the A7S III has, but it's with a 6K downsampled 4K sensor, then why would you ever buy an S3? Sony's done that though. They've done that before, where the A7 III came out and everyone was like, "Why would you buy an A7S2?" It just fucking whopped it. So that could happen. Who knows if that? I mean, we're talking about cameras that don't exist. There's nothing heard about it. It doesn't exist. We're just kind of hypothesizing what exists currently in Sony's full frame lineup in their new cameras is this camera and the A7S III. A7S III is a wildly different camera. It's not a hybrid.
Agreed.
It's also wildly priced differently.
Agreed.
But it's arguably the best full frame video camera that you can buy. This is a good option, I guess, if you want to upgrade one day to the A7S III. You can kind of start accumulating your lenses.
Well, see that I don't. Yes and no, because I didn't see anything about new color science, and that's what I was also hoping for.
Yeah, I want to check that out.
This is still rocking the A7 III color science, matching that to the new fake Cinetone. That's two different animals.
Yeah, but still, it's an upgrade. You know, if you wanted to get into full frame shooting, but you didn't want to spend almost $4,000.
No, that's true. I'm just saying, like, the idea for me of like an eventual upgrade, I'd still want to keep the old camera as a B cam, and this is Sony still hasn't. I was hoping they were gonna put in like the A7S III colors, so you can at least say, hey, cool. Whenever you do switch up to the A7S III or whatever, you can still use it as a B cam easily. You know what I mean? Because Sony still hasn't figured out that here's our color science and it's on every camera like everyone else has.
Yeah, it has really just been updated with the S3. And they changed.
And the FX9.
Yeah, they actually changed. They've been changing their color science a lot. It's really hard to kind of stick to that
right.
one.
Then the A6600 is a different beast altogether.
Well, it says here in this article by Cine D that Sony claims they did improve their color science, which I would assume maybe it's around the same color science as the S3, since it's not really. Since it's not really really dependent too much on your processing or anything. You can just kind of input this color gamma, and then it should just automatically cast whatever magenta or green.
That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm still trying to like look into and find. Just because it's like
they're also claiming 14 stops dynamic range, which would be in line with the S3 as well.
True, but
and it has HDMI.
Does it have
output.
the new sensor then? But then why doesn't it have the new processor and the new menus?
I don't know. I don't know why they kept the old menu.
Nothing of this camera makes sense to me. That's why I don't like it. Is like
it says it has 14-bit raw out as well.
It does do raw out.
That's
according to Cine D.
According to Cine D.
The Cinema 5D.
That's pretty.
I don't know. I'm still
pretty nice.
I'm still leaning towards R6 over this, but that may. I don't know. I'm trying to have hope. Panic killed me already. I'm not ready for Sony to also kill me. Because I really want an S5. That's actually what I want. I just want an S5 with A7 III autofocus.
Yeah. Well, that's the S3.
Not a A7 III with A7 III autofocus.
I don't know. I think this is actually shaping up to be pretty good. I don't know if I would recommend the R over this if you're a video shooter.
I mean, if it has the new color science and the new sensor, then that's a harder argument. If this really is just a 7 III to me, there's a reason why everyone switched to R.
Well, they're saying it's coming from the A7R4. The colors are coming from the A7R4. They're claiming 14 stops dynamic range. Who knows? Who knows what that's at? It is a full pixel readout. Again, it's not line skipped like the A7 III. And you are getting a 14-bit raw out, which is what the A7S III, right?
No, that's 16-bit raw.
Oh, 16-bit raw. It says 16-bit processing and 14-bit raw out from the HDMI, according to Cine D. I don't think it has dual card reading, but it seems like that doesn't play much in these newer cameras.
I don't know. I just don't get why it's not 10-bit.
Yeah, that does kind of suck.
Well, I don't get it too, because Sony just did it. They just did the A7S III. It's a fantastic video camera. It's arguably one of the most perfect video mirrorless cameras you could imagine. And then the new cam, which to me in my head, I'm like, oh, this would be a perfect B cam to that. And it's a completely different camera. I just don't get that. Like, why isn't it just like, all you had to do is just say, hey, it's 10-bit and it's 4K 30 mode from the 7S III. There you go. I would have been much more excited about that personally.
I'm trying to figure out like what would I recommend over this. The R6 comes to mind.
I would see that's if you're only into buying cameras new, this is a great camera for the price point. If you don't care about full frame, you have Fuji. If you care about full frame, this competes now with the R and the regular 7S III and the S5. That's basically your options. If you're okay with buying used and you don't necessarily need a flippy screen, buy a 7 III for $1,400. If you need the flippy screen, you can buy an R for $1,500.
I don't know if I would go. I think I would recommend you pony it up for this one. Get the full readout. Get the raw out.
Fair. I mean, it depends. Is the raw out still? I guess I'd have to see what that footage is before I'm like all in on that. I like the idea of it. The little limited amounts we've seen of the raw from the A7S III is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, I want to. Honestly, it looks like the only thing that you're kind of sacrificed with this at $1,800 is you're not getting 10-bit internal and you're not getting any higher frame rates in 4K. It has pretty much everything else, it seems like. Because you still get IBIS, you still get a great flip screen.
Well, okay, I need Gordon. Where's Gordon?
With his vlog? Does he have his
Yeah.
out? Let's check.
I need a Gordon vlog to actually know if this has IBIS. Or if it has Sony IBIS.
It's definitely Sony IBIS. But we don't know if it has the gimbal stuff. I don't expect it to. S-Star says, just placed the order for the S5. It also has a better kit lens at a couple £100 cheaper. At least can get 10-bit internal recording. Yeah, I mean, if you really don't need to rely on autofocus, then there's no
S5
other
is
camera to
amazing.
get for the price.
No, that's why it's amazing. Like for me, my argument for this whole camera is if your answer is to pony up for this over an R, the reason why I'm thinking R or A7 III is like, I like this a little bit more for 1800. I would say probably wait till it's even cheaper. But at the same time, I'm also sitting here like, but I could pony up for an R6. Because now with the firmware updates, if you just slap a fan on it, it works. And I'd rather take the
And you get higher frame
extras
rates
from the R6.
You probably don't even need the fan, and you get higher frame rate, and you get 10-bit internal, and you get a
And
much better
actual
IBIS.
IBIS.
Yeah, and you get the RF mount. I mean, the R6 is pretty badass currently.
And there's, if you believe people, if we bully Canon enough, it'll get C-Log 3.
Yeah, which would be insane.
But
I would
that's
argue
a lot of maybes and
Yeah.
buts and ifs.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably still go R6 over this. I wouldn't go R6 over S3, but that's a different.
Well, I mean, okay,
That's a
but
different
here's
battle.
the question that I guess too is it also depends on, do you have Sony glass or do you have Canon glass or do you have any other glass? Would also change my opinion on this camera. Because that's where I wasn't liking the price point in the first place, was like assuming you have no glass, which I don't have any Sony glass.
Yeah, you are.
It's that price difference between it and the other cameras drastically changes because I'm okay buying used glass.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
like,
I think this is a pretty strong offering. I'm actually starting to really kind of come up to it. I don't really. It sucks you don't get the 10-bit. I'm curious to know if it's.
and I mean the 8-bit's fine. It is good enough.
Yeah, like I like the
just,
A7 III image, and that's a line skipped 4K.
Yeah, if you ditch the line skip, that's nice. That's a plus. That is definitely
You
a
can't
plus.
push it too much. It's not, you can't push it too much. But they're claiming 14 stops dynamic range in their new S log, so it must have some different processing there in that image. We're gonna have to look at some footage. I mean, I guess we can just show some footage. Let's just see.
Yeah, I was just gonna start actually watching.
Let's see what Moment has. I like Moment's footage a lot. All right, everybody, they love every camera they get in. Let's see here.
So I'm trying to love this camera, but
I think for the price, it's not bad.
no, it's not bad. It's just boring.
Yeah, but I don't think you can expect too much at that price point. At least currently.
That's fair, but it's not that. It's just.
If this
It's
was
just boring
$1,500
because
bucks,
it's an
it would
A7
be
III.
insane, right? If this was like $1,500, everyone would be
Yeah,
like, "Oh my
then-
god, this is
Then
insane."
yeah, no, fuck yeah, dude, let's buy it. And who knows? Maybe Sony will do that like they've done in the past. Of like the A6600 was technically what, it was $1,600, but it's actually always $1,400 because Sony always takes $200 off of it. Maybe they'll do that, and it's $1,800, and it's actually retailing for $1,600.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Then it's a totally different. Let's go. You're actually in Fuji pricing then.
And this is their full. This
I'd
is
still
their. I
argue
mean, their.
Fuji looks better, but hey.
This is their entry level too. So there's always going to be sort of deals and sales and combos that they're going to have with it.
Yeah.
Launch price is $1,800, but I'm sure you can find this for $1,600 in like a few months. I would almost guarantee it for just the body.
And then, what? So what do you do there though? Just buy the body for $1,600. What? Go with the Tamron 28 to 200. That's probably what I do for 730.
Yeah,
If
that's
you
not bad.
don't-
That's not bad. Or one of the F4s, just like a nice
If you
long
go
F4.
If you go with the F, see that was the issue I was running into.
The
this
low
when
light
this
looks pretty
camera-
good too, by the way. Not bad, not
Uh,
amazing, but it looks okay.
Huh? Say that again.
The low light looks pretty good too, by the way, from the Moment video. It's not
Okay.
amazing, but it looks pretty good. Doesn't look like the R6.
I was to say that's why I like. That's another point of just the R6 is like the R6 low light's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Though. The R6 is like the only thing that I've seen that could actually go against like a 7S or a 7S line. I think 7S line's still way better, but it's getting closer to that ballpark.
The
than
R5's low light is
any other
insane
camera.
too. It's insane. It's not as like super clean as like the S3 or even the S2, just because it doesn't have it. It's just resolving so much more, but
Right.
pretty
Well, no,
insane.
and then don't fall into the Tony trap of megapixels equals less noise when there's still a lot of noise. Because just because it's sharper doesn't mean the noise is magically gone.
Yeah, I mean the footage actually looks pretty good. I mean this is gonna do pretty well from everything
Right.
that it
Oh,
has
okay.
with it.
Sorry. I was going back. If you wanted to go for the if you wanted to go 24 to 105 f4, because that's what you should buy as a kit lens. Are you okay buying used? And are you okay recommending used?
Yeah.
You're okay with recommending used?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where the a used FE 24 to 105 f4 is $1,000 still. It's $1,400 new.
24 to 105.
Yep, f4.
How much is it not used?
14.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it usually goes down to 12, but it's more expensive than Canon's.
Yeah.
So used, you're looking at like you're looking at $1,000 basically. So it's $2,800. If you're okay with using an EF, you can do the EF 24 to 105 for $500 plus the adapter, and an R6 for $3,100. And then you're looking at a $300 difference. That was my issue with the price point initially. If you're okay with buying used glass. If you're not okay with buying used glass, then it's scratch that. It's $3,500, not $3,100. And the 7C will still be a lot cheaper. Still barely, but yes.
I'm wondering if this is overheating as well. I don't see anyone talking about overheating, so I don't think it does. It shouldn't. Their newer cameras haven't overheated. But
It's on Best Buy, $1,800, $2,100 with the lens. Still not on B&H, but you can pre-order it on Best Buy.
Yeah, definitely don't get that lens. It's a kit lens. Just don't expect much from a kit lens. It sucks that the Sony kit lenses are so bad.
Yeah, no, that
All right, this is what my recommendation. If you need a camera that does everything, takes great photos, has 4K video, that you can shoot YouTube videos on it, and they're gonna look fucking good, and you don't want to spend more than $2,500 on a full system with the body and the lens, you could probably make this work, and that's pretty good. And I'd probably go with that over the R6 and the lens.
Then you want to get a lens.
But if you do want if you want a little bit more of like a professional camera, I would go with the R6. So it's really up to what you need.
There's pros to the R6, but I would also say there's cons. Like, apparently it works pretty great, and as far as I've been able to tell with stuff, it works pretty great. I'm still waiting for the rental house down here to have both to actually rent it, because I want to slap a fan on it and just see how long it goes. But from what I've been able to see with the new firmware, if you're okay with slapping a fan on the back, it works.
Yeah. Yeah, when you need like that long form.
Really shitty caveat for the price, but
you get a lot more.
Georgia.
You do get a lot more too. You get the 60. You get arguably a better image. You get a better IBIS system. This is pretty competitive from Sony. Sony's on fire right now. The ZV-1 I think is awesome. I think this camera's pretty good for the price. Where it fits in the market, it's definitely going to drive some competition. I'm very curious to see what Canon's R2 is going to do, because that should be competing against this. And I'm wondering if it'll have 10-bit.
Even against the R though, it's fine. I don't know,
yeah, but it's just it's different because it's not a full frame 4K camera, you know.
And that's true. And
I would say even go with like
much.
I would say you could probably save a lot more money going to Fuji if you don't care about full frame. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, if you don't care about full frame, just fucking buy a Fuji X-T3 for $1,000.
That's what I'm saying.
A beautiful camera, and you get 10-bit 420. If you put it into a Ninja, it's full 422. We've had it for 10 years. Well, okay, 2 years, but
10 years. Your Fuji colors are showing a little bit.
No, it's just I don't know.
But that's why I'm saying, like, against the R, it's like the R is not a full frame 4K camera, you know. So
Sure.
if you were considering it, you probably don't care too much for full frame in your 4K.
I would argue also it's still, and this is where I'm circling back to. I want to see more footage, but this was my worry of it just being an A7 III is like, well, there's a reason why everyone switched to an R over an A7 III.
Right.
And it's just because the R's 1080 is still really fucking good, and you can upscale it really easily.
Yeah. Yeah, 1080 is great. But
because it's
I would argue a lot of them.
I mean, the R's still got twice the bit rate in just 1080 as this camera has in 4K.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all the same codecs from a few cameras ago. which is the 100 megabits 4K AVC 8-bit 420.
60 megabit 1080. Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm sitting here with 400, baby. But I'm not a Fuji shill.
But
Okay.
you get a lot better usability. Like, I don't see, like, this is pretty big for Sony. You
Well,
get the,
okay. This is the thing I'm worried though, is I'd want to, this would be another camera I would for sure rent personally, but that's just, for me, the A7 III was already a little bit small and I didn't like the body, and this is barely smaller yet. So I don't know if I'll like it. There is a downside to size, depending on what you're doing. If you want to go run and gun, size matters. If you're talking about pure ergonomics, though, you definitely sacrifice ergonomics for run and gun ability. That's why I swapped between the XT30 and an XT3. One's much beefier, but one runs faster.
yeah.
Sometimes you want the faster, but the actually holding the camera kind of fucking sucks.
I think this is going to do really well for Sony.
I do too.
I think it's going to
I
sell
mean,
really well.
it's much better than I am trashing on it, but that's mostly just because I'm fine with buying used cameras, and I'd rather just stick a Ninja on a A7 III.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're behind the camera a lot, you don't care about flip screen.
And no, that's not to say I don't care about flip screen, but that's part of like what I'm saying about wanting to see this is like, and I haven't gotten a 7S3 in my hands, but the screen looks really small, and that's what I worry about. And especially once you start getting into this Fuji world of there's a big difference between the XT3 screen and the XT30 screen. And if they're going for that XT30 screen, I'm getting old, dude. My eyesight's not good enough to look at that screen and actually, if it's a screen this big, I'm not getting anything out of it.
It's pretty small. I can see it already.
Yeah.
These thumbnails. It's pretty small.
Yeah, and like that's my worry with this thing is like, flip screen's awesome, but if it's a 2-inch screen, that it's not that helpful actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it's helpful to tell if you're in focus, but that's about it. And it's not even going to be able to tell if you're actually in focus. It's going to be able to tell, are you kind of there?
Yeah, but that's what's nice about the autofocus these days. It's you're basically the screen is just you're looking at if you're recording and if you're in the frame, you know, where you're like the composition, because you could just throw the autofocus on. It's got you. The eye tracking autofocus on Sony is amazing. Same with Canon. And then you can just do your YouTube thing in front of your camera. You don't have to worry about it. It's super light. It's somewhat portable compared to the previous version. You're just not getting that, like, you're not getting those pro codecs that we saw with the Canon releases and then the A7S III, which I think that's what kind of
and
sucks.
and the S5 screwed it all up too.
Yeah, the
Because
S5.
now you got the S5 just sitting there at $2,000, like, sup, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I guess this would be my question: is how much is full frame worth to you versus APS-C in a monetary value?
Yeah, like what would be the best equivalent APS-C camera against this?
Well, no, that's why I'm asking. Like, how much is full frame from APS-C worth to you if all things are equal?
I don't know. I would have to figure out like what I'd be willing to sacrifice for full frame from APS-C. Like if you can get,
I mean spec to spec, everything is exactly equal. How much more should full frame cost?
oh, I see what you're saying.
Like, how much more would you expect to pay for full frame if specs are all completely 100% equal? How much are those couple of stops of light worth to you is basically what I'm asking.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to figure out. I'm almost thinking it in the opposite way. Like how much more would I save? You know what I mean? Going down
And
APS-C.
well, that's fair. Well, I'm doing this as a thought experiment, so just go with it. Come on.
I'm trying to think that way.
And I'm just bringing that up because, hey, this is basically a Canon 90D.
Honestly, if specs are exactly the same, I would never choose the APS-C camera over it. You know, unless it's like $2,000 more, I would probably go up to like $1,000 extra for the full frame.
That's fair. Like, that the reason why I was bringing this up is, if you also don't care about full frame, I mean, the Canon 90D is $1,100.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, I forgot about that camera.
basically what this camera is.
I completely forgot about the 90D. But I probably would spend the extra money for the full frame. I like the full frame look.
No, that's fair. I was just trying to put a price range on what is like.
So I guess $1,000,
what is
right?
those 2 stops of light or 3 stops worth?
Yeah.
Because you can't obviously get that back, and that's a big deal. But that's what I was hoping for more out of this. It's like, oh, it's a 90D, cool.
Yeah, see, that's what I think
It's an
too. Is like,
A7 III.
you're also not 100% sold on full frame yet, I don't think. I don't think it
No.
matters to you as much as it matters to me.
Yeah, no, I'm not, and that's fair. I just even when I've used full frame, it's like, yeah, I just shoot at f4 anyway. I don't give like I don't care that much. Like, it's nice. I do like the image, you know what I mean, and I do like the ability to stop down, but it's not like this is a feature I have to have by any means.
I think it's mainly because I shoot a lot more like wider, less than 50.
well, and
Where that full frame really kind of shows
I
itself.
admit that's good, but it hasn't limited me as much as I need to, but that's also because I have a 15 mil lens that ends up being like a 22, and I've never really needed a 15 full frame, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I have the ability to get down to an 18, you know what I mean? Still on Fuji crop.
I mean,
But,
I
like,
personally I even want to go up. Like, I want to go to medium format. The GFX looks fucking awesome. Like, I love
GFX is awesome, but don't expect to shoot wide with it.
No, but I mean, it's just that image looks so good. It looks so big.
Fuck, dude, forgot another secret camera that this is competing with. We forgot one.
What?
That Nikon Z6 boy.
Oh, Z6. I don't know. I don't ever think about Nikon.
I still want Nikon Z to do good. Kinda.
I mean, I do too. I would love for them to do good, but they haven't excited me in any sort of meaningful way. I don't know why.
I don't know. I like the image quality coming out of the Z.
Me too.
The Z6 a lot.
They have great
And
autofocus.
I think they're slowly getting there with the lenses too. They haven't fucked up like Fuji and massively fucked up auto exposure for half of their lifetime. They haven't failed Panasonic autofocus tests.
Yeah, I mean the Nikon. I don't know why. I never really consider Nikon.
Because it
For
doesn't have a
video.
flippy screen.
I thought they do. I thought the Z ones do.
The Z50 has a flip down. It's
Oh,
flip
is
down and
that
flip up.
that's what it is? Right, you're right.
But the Z6, I think, is just a tilt.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But that's what I was hoping more for too, as another competitor, is like another camera that is an 8-bit shooter but has 10-bit output. That's the thing that I still haven't seen yet. I could be wrong. Maybe I am wrong, but I'm hoping if you can do 10-bit out, I'm more on board with this camera.
Yeah,
It's just when
seems like
when
you
every
can.
one of your competitors can do that and Sony can't, that just feels weird.
Well, it seems like you can. And that's pretty good, and that's kind of factoring into that alone factors into like, okay, I'm starting to dig this more. You do get to 1080 at 120, which is okay. I don't think it's bad. I
don't think it's bad. I just
don't think it's bad.
I'm not in love with it.
Yeah, me either. I do wish it had 10-bit internal. I think that would have been a huge get. Because then I would be like, this is really hard to turn down. But currently, there's a lot of compromises from this. I mean, from the footage that I saw, it looks pretty good. This is going to sell insane. It's going to sell so crazy.
It is. I think you should still buy an A7 III over this.
Well, the A7 III would probably be down to like 1,200,
Or
maybe even
A7 S3,
1,000.
sorry.
Oh, A7 S3?
Dumb naming schemes. Yeah.
Oh, I
Okay.
definitely think you should buy A7 S3, but that's a completely different bracket.
Oh, I agree.
I don't think anyone should buy. If you're a video shooter, I don't think anyone should buy any other camera other than A7. I swear. It's the best. It's the best thing the market has seen. It's insane what you get for the price in that body. But how many are you are hybrids, you know? This is a pretty cool camera. I'm actually a little bit more hyped than previously. I can't wait to see these videos. I want to see like Gerald's video. I want to see all these videos too.
This is a camera for you. It's a camera made for YouTube.
Yeah. Exactly. This is a YouTuber camera. This is social media camera. This is you do a website, you need to shoot some video, you need to shoot some product photo.
You need micro HDMI that's going to break on you, like mine's now been broken 5 times just doing this fucking podcast. It says it also has plug-in power for the
From USB-C?
microphone, so that's kind of cool. Single card slot.
Plug-in power from microphone?
I'm looking at the side of the camera because it's on Best Buy.
Plug-in power for a 3.5 millimeter? I've never heard that.
It's got the bane of my existence right there in that HDMI port. It does charge over USB-C. That's nice.
That's pretty dope.
I wish it had more than one card slot, if I'm being honest, for the price, and that's just because, again, all of its competitors have dual card slots.
No, they don't.
Except for the R. The R doesn't.
They don't, yeah. The R doesn't.
See, Nikon does. Fuji
Nikon does. Yeah, Fuji does.
The A7 III does.
Does it? I thought it only had one.
I think. Could be wrong. I can't remember.
I know the A7R4 does, but the one is not. I think the one is just for photos.
Just answer this question for me.
What are you looking for?
If it is 10-bit out.
Oh, let's see if we can find that.
Yeah, it's Bion's. Okay, thank you, DP Review. It's the Bion's ZX processor. It's the same exact one as the A7 III. That's why I don't have any of the new stuff, basically. And it's still Sony, so it has animal autofocus, but not for video. Go sign Philip Bloom's petition.
So it is 10-bit out, you're saying?
I was still looking. It's an A7 III, though, the processor and everything. DPR Review confirmed that.
Yeah, I can't find it. I've only saw what the Cine D says. Let's see. Let's Google this. S5 for 200 gives you 2 card slots of 4K 60. Look, at the end of the day, 1800 for 8-bit internal isn't very competitive with what's out there.
It's not. I mean, it is, but it also it is for the older cameras. It's not for the new cameras.
I think the S5 is overpriced for what it is. I think the S5 should be much cheaper. considering its autofocus limitation.
And I would say for the image quality, this should be much cheaper.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting. I think that's pretty interesting. Like, I would be way more willing to spend $1,500 on that camera, or even less, as well as I would spend, like, I think $1,800 is a good price for this camera for an 8-bit internal 4K, but it has autofocus. I don't see anything that says 10-bit or anything about external recording. Let's look at Gerald's video. I guarantee you he's got it in here somewhere.
A7C.
Probably, yeah. Let's just start
So you're
watching.
getting great compatibility if you use a lot of remote.
HDMI quirks fixed. Let's hear this.
Systems. And unlike the A7 III, it doesn't have any of the weird HDMI quirks where connecting a monitor disables face detection. At least not
It
in
also
24p.
doesn't have the high-res mode
In
that the
30p,
S5
it
does
performs
for
like the
pictures.
ZV-1, where it crops in and you get this wide autofocus box instead of face detection. But that's only when recording internally and monitoring over HDMI simultaneously. If you record only externally, you keep eye detection in 30p, but again, neither is an issue in 24p, and neither screen goes black when you start recording like it does on the A7 III. So there's some serious improvements and quirk reduction here. It does still have that same issue that plagues even the A7S III though, which is that when you enable your on-screen display and menus over HDMI, the camera LCD turns off. This probably won't affect a large number of users, but it's something I hope Sony continues to work on because it would be nice to see fixed in future cameras. Perhaps the biggest improvement in recording video over the A7 III, however, is the fact that this camera has no record limits, so you don't need an external recorder to bypass any 30-minute limit, or to even see yourself now. So that's great if you want a tiny setup for long-form content. And overheating doesn't appear to be a problem for those long recording sessions either, despite this tiny body. I put the auto power off temp to high, and then let it record for 6 hours in a 24 degrees Celsius
6
environment,
hours.
which is 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and it didn't even give me an overheating warning, so that's great. But your mileage will probably vary in hotter environments. So those are a lot of the
Doesn't have an
differences and
autofocus
improvements.
joystick.
He doesn't have it in here, at least for not from that segment.
There's no autofocus joystick either.
Oh, that I don't really care about. You could use the screen, right?
I don't know. They're just saying you can use the touchpad.
Oh, is that what they're calling it?
Oh, the little fake Canon circle. Yeah.
It says 16. Oh, hold on. No, that's not it. When did this come out? Oh, it's just from B&H. The HDMI Type D port can be used in conjunction with external recorder to gain 422 8-bit recording up to 30 frames forward. So that's saying 8-bit. But it's 422. You get the 422. But some places are claiming.
Also, DP review saying you also get the crop in 4K 30 still.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's an A7 III.
I didn't know the A7 III had crop in 4K 30. How much of a crop is it?
It's like tiny. Because it's like 1.1 or something.
Yeah, I didn't know it had a crop.
I mean, it's like the way, I'm guessing it's like the way the R6 technically has a crop.
All right. All right. Enough of this. I can't find anything on it. It says from what I've seen, you could expect at least 422, but that's not going to make much of a difference. And Cindy D here is stating that it has 16-bit processing and 14-bit raw HDMI out. So
Okay, there, I
unless
found it.
unless you can find a definitive answer.
Okay, I'm trying this. Let's see this.
If you're buying this for video, you might as well buy a Blackmagic Pocket. You would only buy this if you wanted full frame and you wanted autofocus.
No, it's an A7 III. It's 8-bit 422 according to Jordan.
Okay. That's on DP review?
Yep.
So that's a hit. That's a hit. No 10-bit. 8-bit S-Log.
Autofocus is supposed to be better. It's got the improved autofocus according to Jordan.
Okay.
If you're gonna buy one new, I would buy this over an A7 III.
Well, the A7 III is probably going to drop down in price.
Right, but then, since it's not, if you're saying, "Hey, I'm gonna buy one for $1,800 right now," yeah, I'd buy this over an A7 III, obviously.
Would you buy it
But-
over A7 III at, let's say, 1,300 new?
Probably not.
I probably wouldn't consider the A7 III. I'd probably go with this, but I think the R6 is still a much better overall camera. If you're jumping into full frame, this is what's interesting too. It's like if you're jumping into full frame, it's an expensive system. So to have your limitations so limited in full frame, it does kind of hurt. No 10-bit at all. You get no extra high frame rate recording modes in 4K.
Do you have all of these things that a $1,000 Fuji has had for 2 years?
Yeah, you could drop. I mean, you could drop down and save $1,000 and go APS-C, or you can just spend
But-
another $1,000 and get a camera that's gonna last you, and give you the features. But see,
Or buy
then
a
again, this
Panasonic
isn't
S5.
really for those people. This is for someone that just wants a nice camera that's gonna make a nice image that a lot of the YouTubers, it's gonna have that YouTuber look to it. And you don't want to spend, $4,000 on a system. You're gonna buy this. You're gonna buy one, maybe two lenses, and that's it.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you bought this and that 28 to 200, sure, it's variable aperture, but like, cool, you're done. You know what I mean? It's not wide enough to vlog with, so maybe you'd pick up a 20 mil to vlog with.
Yeah, and I think they have the 16 to 35. How much is that? The Zeiss one. That's the one that I have.
Still
It's pretty good.
Still like,
It's $1,000.
yeah, I was gonna say it's still a grand. I'm
The
pretty sure.
F4. So if you're vlogging, you buy this, 1,800. You spend another $1,000. You get this lens here, and you're pretty much good. And you're gonna have a really good looking image. You're not gonna be able to. It's not a pro image, You're not gonna be able to do too much to it. You can add a little bit of a orange and teal color cast to it, but at least you'll
Yeah,
be able to
if you want
do
to grade it
everything you
all,
want.
just buy an S5 or an R6.
Yeah, but I don't even think the S5 is for different. That's for I think what people who are looking at Blackmagic cameras. That's kind of where the S5 fits in. This is more
Yeah, the
for someone
S5
that's looking
fits
for.
in because it's a S1H, SH1. I forget names all the time. Sorry. I mean, the S5 is here's $4,000 video quality, basically.
Yeah, it's a professional camera.
I don't know. I was hoping for a little bit more because I would also sit here and just be like, I'd honestly rather buy an RP over this. Straight up. I'd be fine with 1080p. Buy this in EF class and just upscale to 1080p.
Yeah, that is an option.
Like, if
That is an option.
I would like, that's what I was hoping for a little bit more, because the just since it is a 7.3, we kind of know what the video quality looks like. It's good, but you could also just upscale
It's better. It is
our.
better.
It's a little better, yeah. I'm hoping it's going to be better, but it's not going to be spending a little.
It's
bit
not
extra.
10-bit better.
No, it's not going to be like if you actually spend extra money. So that's why I'm sitting in the like, well, if that's your goal,
It's
like,
an interesting camera,
I want a
man.
cheap camera that's nice and is going to just give me good YouTube quality footage.
Yeah.
The RP, dude. Save yourself the grand. Buy an RP.
I think I would recommend this over the RP.
I mean, yeah, if money's no object, but if I don't know.
I think I'd recommend this over the RP. I think I recommend this over the R. But you basically, yeah, I think I would. I think this is a pretty interesting camera. You're not getting a lot of those pro features, but this is the 4K camera with a flip screen and IBIS that you could just turn on. You don't have to worry about it. It's gonna look good. You know what I mean? Like, this is that camera that we kind of been waiting for a while. It's a little bit more pricey than we expected. But in a few months, it'll drop down to like 1,600, and that'll be a pretty good deal.
It is, but it isn't, because I've been waiting for this camera for 10-bit.
Yeah,
And I was
10-bit
waiting
would've
for
been
this
nice.
this camera. If you're still just going to use an A7 III, this would have been cool last year. And it's still cool. It's still a good camera. It's better than I'm dissing it. I'm just waiting for Black Friday when it's $1,500. Then I'll be a lot more excited.
Yeah, I'm more forgiving on it. I'm a lot more forgiving on it. I think this is pretty damn
No,
good.
it's not that it's a bad camera. I want to preface that. Like, it's a good camera. You'll be happy with this camera. It's just boring. I don't know. It's not
I
it's
think
not
you.
the A7 III upgrade I was really hoping for personally.
No, it's not. But that hopefully is coming. But
True, but I don't know.
I'm wondering where that pricing is too. Like, I'm wondering where that A7 IV pricing is.
Well, if this is only 1,800, then it's probably R6 pricing. It's probably mid 24, 25.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And then that'll be pretty interesting, because right now I don't see this really competing with the R6. It's considerably less money, and you are losing a lot of like those pro features.
I mean, you could have Slug 3 and an 8-bit camera again. Still in 2020.
Yeah, but I don't think that looks bad. You
It
know,
doesn't look, no, and it doesn't look bad. I'm just like, I don't think it looks that, and that's my argument, I guess, is it doesn't also look massively better than an R and RP or an A7 III, which you will now be able to all buy cheaper.
yeah.
This is also because I'm a little bit more pessimistic on it. It's cool. I mean, it is kind of cool. If you want a small camera, this is pretty cool. But as someone who owns multiple small cameras, that's just not what I'm in the market for. Small cameras have a lot of their own faults.
Yeah, you want a chunky guy?
Well, yeah, I already got the best small cameras, basically. I got a party of Fujis, dude. I already have a camera that weighs 360 grams, and I actually wish was heavier.
All right, Fuji, chill. Let's tone it down a notch.
I know.
You
Well,
go
no,
on your
but
Fuji
what I'm
tire,
saying
it's
is
just
like
funny.
the side argument is like there's a lot of pros to it, but it isn't like lighter isn't always better, I guess is my point. And if I'm going for a full frame camera, I do kind of want a chunkier boy that's gonna be easy to hold, easy to run and gun with, keeps like footage actually stable with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm curious. I want to know if it has this gyro data.
That
That has looked so fucking incredible from some of the videos that I saw on it. At first I was like, it's gonna crop in and it's gonna look like, warp stabilization. It crops in like a tiny fraction, and it looks incredible.
You get to set how much it crops in.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So like you can.
From what I've seen, people haven't
Yeah.
had it to crop in too much. If you can hold the camera
that's
relatively
true,
still.
and that's also Brandon Lee, who actually knows how to walk.
True.
You know? I need to.
It
see,
looks so good though. It looks
True.
so much better than like real IBIS. You know what I mean? Like, it looks better than the IBIS that's in the Canon. It looks so good. Hopefully it has it in here. I don't see why it wouldn't, but maybe that's just a price upgrade that they're gonna want to throw in there. Arbitrary upgrade. It's really just I'm pretty sure this camera has a gyro in it.
I don't know. See, that's the thing is I don't know because it's still an A7 III processor and sensor. So can that
Yeah.
processor support that?
Yeah, who knows?
Is it on the A7R4?
No, I don't know. I
So
don't
think
know.
that's
That's a
the
good
last
question.
camera before this one that had that processor.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's an old processor at this point.
Oh yeah, it's showing its age.
But the flip side of that is you can shove it in a small body and it not overheat finally.
Yeah.
'Cause that is a pro. You don't have to stick a fan on it like an R6, like I would plan to. That is a definite pro.
All right, let's close this up. Is there
Yeah.
anything else?
The flips, I don't know. The flip screen's nice. I want to like this camera. I might consider renting one too. We'll see. It might be harder for me to actually rent this one because everywhere around
yeah.
here.
I don't know if you'll be able to rent this one.
Well, it's more I just want to actually hold one.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll
'Cause I
see them
wanna-
in like Best Buy.
I want to
and
know if
shit.
it's too small, basically, because that's my worry with it. Is you're gonna slap an actual like we've only seen it with the new compact line glass of the kit lens that's shit. Like actually, yeah, stick a 24 to 105 on it. It's actually
Well, see, that's the thing with
Are you gonna be able
Sony.
to hold it?
Yeah. The A6000s are so tiny and so light, like they don't give a shit. They'll say, "Hey, throw this G Master on the front of your A6000."
Yeah.
They're so imbalanced that they really don't care about like the ergonomics of the camera. It looks a little bit better, but this is not like an ergonomic camera in any way.
And I care about that if you're gonna try to tell me this is worth $2,000 or close to.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm more forgiving on it. I think a lot of people are gonna get it for sure. I think this is gonna sell really
Oh yeah,
well.
and I think a big part of that too is Sony's got a lot of really good glass that's cheap.
So it's got
Go Tamron.
just a lot of glass in general. They have so much E-mount
True.
stuff.
Yeah, I agree with chat there. If I was sticking Sony, I'd wait for an A7 IV.
Yeah.
If I already had an A7 III, I
But
would
who
buy the
knows?
fucking
Like
camera.
again, like that could be a 2-year away camera. It could
I
come out
agree,
in
but-
6 months. Like this could be replaced in
well,
so
then
it's why
save,
Sony sucks with like
then keep
upgrades.
saving your money and buy an A7S III.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I mean, if you save another
the
couple
A7
thousand.
R5, that's probably going to come out before the A7 IV.
Yeah, or another ZV1 or ZV2. Who knows? I do like it though. I do like it. It's nothing groundbreaking. What I'm really more curious in. I don't think I'd ever buy this. I probably would have bought this 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. If this came out like a year after the A7 III, easily would have bought this over like an R.
Yeah, same.
But
Now it's
at the
definitely a
same
little
time,
bit more
I don't know.
competitive. It's definitely a little bit more competitive, and it doesn't have like it doesn't have like a super selling feature to it. If
No,
this
the
would have
selling
came
feature
with
of it,
4K
it's
60,
a
then it would have been a little bit
Tiny
more.
Sony camera that's even tinier.
Yeah, and if this had like 4K 60, I would have been like, okay, I'm more on board. If it did a 10-bit HDMI out, I would have been more on board. If it had 10-bit and turtle, that would have been huge. If it had,
Yeah.
the gyro
that's-
data, it would be huge.
That's cool. I froze again. That's like The spec list is literally a Fuji X-T30 that you can buy for $700.
Yeah.
Actually, the spec list of the X-T30 is better.
Yeah.
Because the X-T30 has full 10 bit.
You just don't. Your camera just doesn't freeze.
Yeah. No, that's all the HDMI do. Because which this camera does have the joys of micro HDMI on a small body, which means you can't actually cage it properly.
Knock on wood, I haven't had any HDMI problems yet.
Right, but you have a big camera, so you can actually have a proper port and actually support the cable. That's going back to my whole thing here of small cameras have their own flaws. If you only have this much space for all of the ports, you can't actually properly cage an HDMI port and still be able to use anything else.
Yeah.
So then your micro HDMI hell is so good.
I wonder if we're ever gonna leave HDMI micro.
Sony, they already did it.
Yeah, but on their fucking $4,000 cinema camera, you know.
Yeah, 3.5.
I'm surprised
That's literally
Canon left
twice price.
the mini.
It's almost exactly twice the price of this camera.
Yeah.
And that's also why I think they didn't make this 10-bit. If they would have made this 10-bit, there you go. This is the camera.
Yeah, 10-bit would have been a huge upgrade. Yeah, 2 years ago I would have been all over this. Now it's a little bit more competitive. It's nice to see a full frame entry camera from Sony.
I mean, and if they're trying to, if what I'm curious about is I could see a world where this delays an A7 IV, and I'm saying that just because if this is their idea of trying to go Fuji, this could be interesting. Because that's how Fuji always did it, is they had the XT3 or XT2, etc. as your flagship, and then you would have the XT30 versus the XE, and those would both be the same camera, just one's a rangefinder and one's a standard camera.
Yeah,
If
Sony's
that's
always
their
been.
goal here is, okay, this is an A7 III, but a rangefinder. Are we going to see an upgrade with an A7 IV, and are they going to make a rangefinder A7C II?
Yeah.
That's the same camera?
Yeah, I want to see some of these videos too. I wish we can get these fucking cameras in. One day, guys, we'll get these cameras in. I'm working on it, all right? So we can give you some real looks.
Oh, hey. Look at you.
What's going on?
Talking shit about my micro HDMI.
Did I freeze? I think you froze.
I might have froze. I don't know. That's probably the internet at this point.
Yeah, I think it might be the internet.
It's fucking 1,000,000 degrees in my house.
All right, so updates. I have another video coming. I'm gonna have a full little like vlog video for you coming from our trip to the Poconos. There's gonna be no show tomorrow, and stay
I'll have
updated. We still
some-
have that Canon event as well later on in September with the C70s. That'll be fun.
True.
That'll probably be
Fuji's
the
got
next
a secret
episode of this.
camera that no one knows anything about. That'll probably suck.
Do you think they'll do a press conference release? Did they do those?
I'm assuming that's what they'll do. Yeah. And if no one's found anything about it other than it's been registered, that tells me it's a camera no one cares about.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's what I'm guessing. You know what I mean?
Well, we should probably be back when, at least with this show, we'll be back. The Canon release for the C70, we'll do a show, and then what's after that? I think that's pretty much it. And then the Sony A7S III should start releasing by then, right? So hopefully we'll have videos on that as well, because I'm gonna get one of those in.
Yeah. We'll put up videos of the R6 overheating saga whenever the rental shop actually has one. Yeah,
Yep.
they have that at World Plans.
Yeah, I wish I could
Also, like,
ship you.
I do like
lens.
someone's comment: a flippy screen for vloggers, but no touchscreen support for settings and menus. So I have to turn the camera back around to actually change my settings. Cool.
You got to learn how to do the behind the camera reverse mirror trick. I don't know why they don't make their fucking menus touchscreen. I don't know why they kept the old menus in this, but I'm not honestly. I'm not expecting too much at $1,800 for this thing. I'm probably never gonna get one though.
No.
If you need a camera, if you're not in a system, this is a nice option. Oh, you YouTubers out there, vloggers.
I'd still argue if all you're doing is YouTube, just buy an RP.
I wouldn't buy the RP. I'd go the R now. At this point, I'd probably go the R. over the RP.
Yeah, I'm gonna find.
Unless you really wanted to-
1,500.
Unless you really wanted to save a lot of money, I'm sure you could find an RP for like $600.
And it mostly, I've still found them closer to 900. Just because it's already so fucking cheap now. People are having issues actually reselling them just because it's hard to make it cheaper.
Yeah, I like the RP. It's just a little too limiting.
No, I don't disagree, but I'm just saying that, like, if your goal is YouTube, it's there you go, dude. I do think we'd get a little bit too lost into the sauce of what you actually need for YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can definitely.
I would argue if it had C-Log, that would be a big difference. But yeah, that's the only thing the RP is missing is C-Log.
That's what Canon needs
log.
to. That's what Canon needs to fucking take from Sony. They put S-Log in fucking every camera. You get it on your fucking action cameras. All right, let's wrap this up.
For 1,500, you can buy a 7.3 for 1,500.
Yeah, I would definitely. I don't know actually. It's an interesting camera. I like it a lot more than you do. I think that's clear.
Yeah, well, that's fair. And I'm just like, if I'm going to spend that much money already, I might just spend the extra for an S5 or a R6 and actually get something that's new to me. That's my issue with it. So there's nothing new about it, this camera to me.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap
If I'm
it
going
up.
to spend that much,
Let's
give
wrap
me
it up.
something new.
All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. No Mirror Podcast. We'll come back at you with Canon's cinema releases, and then there's another release coming up, and then we'll keep you updated. Make sure you follow us over at Twitter at NoLifeDigital. Hit up our website nolife.digital. And thanks for tuning in. This is a podcast also, so you can subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Radio, everywhere. All right, bye-bye.